Welcome to Happy Hour Holidaze. You got your boy Manny Fresh. We got Sean Fabre. And in studio today, we got Cliff with one of the hottest freaking pages here in the Tampa area. Yes, everybody, I'm sure, has seen something on it. It's TampaLatest. And he's got other ones there too. He's a social media influencer. And we're so happy to have you on the podcast, Cliff, man.
Appreciate
Good to have you.
Appreciate you having me here.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, we met at Uncle Reem's, Uncle Reem's barbecue. Yeah. That shit was fire.
We're going to have him on the podcast on Monday.
Yeah, hopefully he brings some food because, like, honestly, I can have one of those, like, all day, like, the brisket, man.
Yeah, the brisket was good. Yeah, but when I saw Cliff crush, it was the freaking lemonades, dude.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, mix that shit with a little bit of vodka, and that shit was fire, bro. I was like, look back at Cliff, and I'm like, damn, that shit's gone. He already had the next one, man.
Things are addicting, man.
So tell us, Cliff, like, your background on, like, let's just start off in high school when you got out, just a little life story, to the point that you are now. You're a hustler or a grinder. You made one of the best, Tampa Instagram pages here locally. I mean, everybody knows it. And what's cool about yours is that not only do you do you spotlight small businesses and stuff like that, but you also do current affairs or current events. Current events where, what's going on in Tampa. So we're always up to date. I mean, if you want to check out, TampaLatest, go on Instagram and you'll see it on there. And
you're also not too old, right?
No, I'm actually 29. I mean, that's still kind of old for me. I feel like I'm getting old. I'm about to hit that 30. So
this year?
Next week is actually my birthday.
Next week, 30s, man.
That's when everything goes downhill. Trust me.
I'm just kidding. No, well, business-wise, I feel like it goes up, man. It spirals up. I mean, as far as your body wear and tear, if you played a lot of sports, that's where I feel the most. But
or drink a lot.
Yeah, or drink a lot.
Yeah, I'm starting to slow down now. I'm just starting to enjoy life a little bit more. So, yeah. Well, to get started about where I came from, so, pretty much basically out of high school, I went to college for a couple of years down here locally. And then it just started getting too expensive, man. Like, I started working for an SEO firm. I'm not sure if y'all ever familiar with, SEOs. All that. And so I was working for a company for a couple of years. And then I was then, going to school for marketing. I was like...
At USF?
No, I was at HCC. And then I was planning on transferring to USF. But then the money, I was like, man, this shit's, it's expensive. At that time, I was like, I was a broke college kid, what I'm saying? I had to do everything on my own. And so before I even started the process of transferring and stuff like that, I started learning a lot of skills from that company. And so during that process, it was more of like, let me just try to do this on my, side work, hustle and stuff like that. And long story short, I just kind of took what I learned from there, and I was like, you know what? I need some money because I need to figure out how I can get some money on the side because you're growing up as a kid, you want to try to make some hustle. Yeah. So I decided to do my own agency, SEO, and once I started realizing the process of a lot of businesses really needed that, and I was like, you know what? I can really do something with this, and so I started branching off and eventually I learned everything and started doing it on my own. But I was struggling to get business owners to because with SEO you get contracts and stuff like that, and they only last for 6 months, and then you know what I mean. So I was like, what can I do
to different myself, right?
To different myself to actually get businesses to want to reach out to me to help with their marketing, SEO, whatever. So I came up with this page, TampaLatest. And, started to kind of see what was out there that wasn't really out there.
Yeah.
And so a lot of these pages that you see out here really talk about Tampa as a whole, as a great community, but it wasn't really a page dedicated to where you're going to see everything, the raw stuff, raw uncut stuff. Whatever bad happened in the city, we're going to talk about it. Some people don't like to talk about it because they feel like it's going to mess up the city's appearance, look, you know what I mean? But I feel like people should be aware of what's going around in your city, which, everyone should because, you live here. So you never know that something might happen, right down the street. I mean, it would be nice because a lot of people are not on watching TV nowadays. And everything's on social media. Because I don't remember the last time I turned on the TV.
I only watch sports. Other than that, exactly. I'm not watching any news.
Exactly.
And then, you're absolutely right. I mean, everybody's, doom scrolling, you know,
doom
scrolling.
Yeah.
But hey, you know, for social media influencers that have businesses like this is perfect because I mean the younger generation is doing it more than we are. I mean, I'm in my mid-30s and I kind of sit there, but I'm not too much of a doom scroller, but I try to scroll
That's
a little
bullshit,
bit.
bro. You send me reels all the time. I get like 4 in a row, and I'm like, God, I gotta watch each one, like each one.
No,
I
send it to them so I can remember instead of like keeping it. I just send it to them, so then I'm like, all right, I can go back to that group and know where it was at.
I do it all the time too, so I know exactly what you mean.
So when you said SEO, I mean, were you building the websites and then optimizing it for SEO, or were you just going into existing websites and optimizing them for SEO?
Yeah, I was doing both. So there's like 2 ways you can do it.
Were you using like Elementor or Avada or?
I was doing WordPress. I was building easy layouts, WordPress, and then actually sending them out. Well, I would try to find people that were like a local plumber or something that's just wanting to start their own plumbing business but didn't know how to put an online presence and stuff like that. So that I'll create the website, generate leads and traffic for that business owners, and then I rent them out to them. So then that way,
you rent out the website?
Yeah, the website.
Bro, that was the first time I ever heard that.
That is the first time.
That's fucking
like
smart as fuck.
You would buy the domain.
Buy the domain, everything.
You would build a site through WordPress using what builder again?
WordPress, usually WordPress, Elementor, like the easy drag and drop websites and stuff like that. And then I'll do.
And then you told them 6 months. I'm letting you rent this website.
Not even for 6 months. It's a lifetime.
Oh, really?
Because you own it. You
own it, but you rent it to them.
Yeah, you rent it to them. And
are you still doing that?
Yeah, still do that now to this day.
That's like I know, man. That's like residual. That's like having an insurance policy, and then you're just like collecting.
Yeah, because if they don't pay you, you own the name of what their company.
Yeah,
is,
a lot of them try to buy out as well, but I try to like let them know.
Sells a couple, right?
Yeah, I sold a couple before. The offer was just too much at the time, so I like to just sometimes it depends on what it is.
Yeah, because you don't want to hold it hostage either.
Exactly. So, but what happens is I end up striking like a deal with them. So a lot of times, a lot of these business owners will be so busy and they don't want to deal with the hassle of the websites, the back end, updating like either news articles or whatever. So they'll just allow me to just run it for them, and then still, I get that monthly check from that.
So is that essentially the bread and butter?
Yeah, that is. I use that. I kind of went away from that now since I just already have so many websites. I'm trying to like not overstress myself because TampaLatest page does a lot of work.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, man.
I was able to focus on that more, so I was able to build more of an online presence with that, and then I was able to get in contact with so many new businesses, like a lot of new businesses to hit me up through TampaLatest.
Which means they also need websites.
Yes, which they also need websites. They also need, help.
This is lead gen 101, guys.
Exactly. So a lot of them actually help. And like I actually like recommend like, hey, you guys should, I don't just highlight their business. Like I like to actually help these small businesses grow because a lot of them have no idea where to even start. And so when I get in contact, we can use Uncle Reem, for example.
Yeah, I know. You were popping in too, helping them out.
Yeah,
man.
Exactly. So that's what I do locally. I'll just bounce around, and if we ever collab on something, it's like a collaboration for a lifetime. And I never met them, like personally, I never knew them. They hit me up through TampaLatest, and ever since then, we did a video for them, took off, and then I asked them because I was like, so what are you doing with your marketing? Like, what's your goal? What's your next step? Because, once we start promoting you guys, like, things are going to start climbing up. So you got to be on your P's and Q's. So I kind of like told them exactly what you're going to be having to prepare for because, he's in the food truck working. Yeah. Like, what I mean? He's actually working out there. So he can't really manage all the online stuff like that. But he allowed me to help him with that, and ever since then, like you see a whole bunch of influencers come out and like try some of his food, and then
like Joe.
Yeah, well, he's been posting them. He's had some college athletes that are going to get drafted in the NFL and stuff like that. And and the businesses
how many followers do you have? Just real quick.
TampaLatest?
Yeah.
Yeah, almost at 130. Yeah,
130.
130.
That's a lot.
And here's the cool thing that you're
And
doing
it only
now,
took
Cliff.
you 2 years.
Yeah. No, the cool thing that you're doing now for businesses, Cliff, and you know, I've seen it now, is that you're highlighting them right on the bottom of your Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, and we've seen a jump. I mean, I was talking to you about it. I mean, we've seen these people go from like 250 or 500 followers to 5,000, 6,000, even more.
Yeah.
Followers.
That's what happened to Uncle Reams.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. He started at almost, I think, barely 1,000, and he actually hit me up and said we actually got to slow down a little bit. Look, he would tell you to ask him. He was like, man, it's getting too crazy. Like we selling out. Like it's getting overwhelmed. Like when you talk to him about that, because he actually hit me up.
Well, I'll just tell him one thing about the chicken wings. You gotta increase that from $1. I would at least do $2 on the chicken wings.
Maybe that's why he's selling out, bro.
I mean,
Maybe
but now it's like, since they're selling out, they got they're already there, and they might as well just try something else. You know what I mean? So because his volume is very limited with certain things. So
or open up a second truck.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Taco Bus?
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
So the original one was off of what, Hillsboro?
Yeah, by the jail, right?
No. I wasn't. I thought the original one was Hillsboro and 275, where they actually have a bus and then a building, and it was where that church used to be.
Oh, I know he's like. I think I know he's talking about. Yeah,
it's like on like 34th Street. Dude, we used to go there all the time because we lived right next to it. But I mean, Taco Bus started off with one, and then opened up another one, and then another one, and now they got like 30 locations, which is crazy. Yeah.
Cliff, do you vet like these, I'm sure you get a ton of businesses hitting you up to try to partner with you. I mean, but obviously you want to keep your reputation good on your page. Yeah. So are there businesses that you're turning down just because it's like, hey, I mean, like we're not a good match. I'm just saying,
strip clubs, would you do?
Oh yeah, I mean, with the page, it was like I'm raw and cunt, so we post anything. That's what makes me different. So like, I'll post all the raunchy shit and whatever. Like sometimes I some crazy stuff that happened in Tampa. Like we post everything. So like any businesses that hit me up, we can kind of make it work, depending on like what it is. Like sometimes. A lot of people hit me up for events to promote some of their events. Yeah. But there's a process with that. You got to kind of you can't just do it like at the last minute. You want to kind of build it up and stuff like that. But I don't think we ever turn down a business. Like we try to help as many people as possible because
Would you ever turn one down though?
Yeah. I would
if they had like bad reviews. Let's say like you go on their Google or something.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. If they're just flat out terrible and their customer service is bad, I actually will analyze everything first. But I never had any business that was like completely terrible because remind you, the ones that I really deal with are the new ones that's trying to get their business out there. Yeah. So a lot of people don't know anything about them yet. Yeah. So, but the ones that I'm already partnering with are, they've been established in the business for a long time. They just trying to build their brand a little bit more stronger in the community. So those mainly I do like Busch Gardens, the big ones like.
Damn, you do Busch Gardens too?
You've worked with Busch Gardens?
Yeah, Busch Gardens, even the big festival that's happening.
They're doing wine and
wine and food festival.
Is that the food and wine festival you were talking about? I thought you said it was at Critters Hickson.
Yeah, it's there tonight. Oh, and tomorrow. Yeah.
Because I know I'm a Busch Gardens pass holder. I know that they have that in vet area next to Iron Gwazi that they have a food and wine festival.
Yeah, they do have one too. Yeah, but everyone has their own little brand or whatever. It's kind of like the same thing, but this one is actually kind of unique because you get to actually try all the chefs from the restaurants and then vote for them.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
You were actually just going around eating a bunch of food and drinking wine, liquor, hard liquor they got out there, and then you vote and then actually do a whole display. Like they actually do a whole competition meal on stage.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's actually pretty lit.
It's like the Iron Chef.
Yeah, just
in Tampa.
That.
So Busch Gardens hosts it, but they do it at Curtis Hickson?
No, that's
a different one.
That's a different one. Because the Tampa Aquarium has one too.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of food festivals, like wine and food festivals. It's just whoever owns that particular one is usually how they set it up, but. Yeah, we work with all different types of brands there.
So what's like the biggest brand you've ever worked with that hits you up? And how do they call you? Do they email you or do they call you or do they hit you up on IG?
They usually hit me up through email. Our biggest one was Red Bull.
Red Bull?
Yeah, Red Bull.
What was it?
They pretty much they do a lot of when I first started working with them, I didn't realize they had so many different departments. Like they did like Red Bull wakeboarding, Red Bull dance, like Red Bull like
skateboarding.
Everything. I didn't realize that until we got in contact with them.
Then you're like, damn, this is good money over here.
Yeah. So they really just want more of like, they're actually going around the city a lot more often and trying to like set up different events. So like last week they did the Red Bull dance competition in Amateur Works, which was really dope, by the way. It was crazy. It had a big turnout.
What kind of dancing was it?
It was like street dancing, like, you know, competition.
Not like ballet, right?
No. It was like hip hop, you know, dancing.
Break dancing?
All that. Yeah. I was actually impressed. I went, they had Red Bull liquor you can drink out there. Like, they was just mixing it all up. But, like, brands like that, they're really fun to work with because they really invite you to some of these crazy events. And then you just go out there and have a good time. That's literally all I do all weekend.
Go to events, right?
Go to events, meet a bunch of people, you know, socialize, and then promote it to the community, man.
Like, it kind of sounds like your whole life is, even though you're doing this page, your life is fun as fuck. Because you're doing so many different things.
You get to eat every single restaurant. It's all free. Yeah, come on by.
I actually got to start getting back in the gym, man, because the amount of food you can receive to like make content for people is endless. Like,
and they're giving it to you for free, right?
Oh yeah. They just want you to like showcase everything.
They're like,
that
come here, please.
They can, but some of their food is just it's crazy amount of food, and so like I try to give them away as much as possible because I'm not going to eat all that. You know? So,
have you ever been to a place and said, "Damn, this food sucks"? But you don't have to name the place.
There was a place, and I usually don't put those clips in a video. Like I try to like talk about what I liked at the restaurant, and then if I didn't like it, I don't even show it. So if they do come to that place, they be like, okay, well he had that there, then I'm gonna play it safe and
have that too.
So, but there's definitely one restaurant where I ate it and I was like, man, it's not my type of taste. You know, I'm kind of a picky eater myself. So like when I look at food, I really analyze it and see like, you know, is it really good? You know what I mean? Because anybody can say it's the best pizza place in town, but is it?
And then I mean, you can't keep saying,
exactly.
You know, this is the best fried chicken I've ever had, or this is the best pizza I've had, or this is the best steak I've had. Every single time you post a restaurant video, right? Because people are gonna be like, okay, well, every place he goes to is awesome.
And that's why I try to I switched it up a little bit more. Now it's more of just showcasing the food, because
and not saying
it's just saying that it's the best, right? Because once you say it's the best, it's just like, oh, this is clearly you getting paid for that. No, like you know what I mean. You don't want to sit there and be doing that. You just want to showcase like what you actually ate, and then let the viewers be the judge of that. You know what I mean? Does it look good? You know, does it look presentable enough for you to eat? So that way, it gives a business opportunity to actually compete. So then I can go to another barbecue place, and then I don't have to be like, oh, this is the best. And then they, you know, because other businesses are seeing that too. They want you just to really. I just want to be able to showcase what they have to offer. And then it's up to the community just to try it if they want it.
And when we get back from break, we're going to ask Cliff how he dealt with all the engagement from the comments. Because I'm sure when TampaLatest was blowing up, I mean, you're like, damn, how am I going to keep up with all this engagement to make sure that I, you know, keep this page growing? So when we get back, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe, and check out our Friday features for small businesses that we're trying to help out. Thank you for watching Happy Hour Holidays and listening as well. All right, Holidazers, welcome back. You got your boy Manny Fresh here. We're in the house with Cliff with TampaLatest. He's rolling it, spitting the truth over here with his page. We're loving it. Current events all day in Tampa. The good, the bad, the ugly, the funny, whatever it is, that's the page to go to. So we were talking about the engagement part of it. Let's kind of combine that when you were like sitting there, you're like, holy shit, this fucking page is blowing up. When was that point at? What followers did you go, holy shit? Like I just saw a big increase, or what was that big increase with that engagement? Where you're like, holy shit, this is
I
like
can make some money off this shit.
Well, really, it was just I was just trying to grow followers, and eventually, when you're first starting out a page, and you guys know it, like you're trying to see what hits, you know, so that way you can see what your your followers like, or like you trying to see what actually, what people are interested to. So like when I was first starting out, I was like, man, let me see what can I do. And so I started posting like news stuff, like the bad stuff that was going around the cities, because you don't really see that often going or spreading around town. And so I was like, I started posting like all the bad shit that was going on. And then I noticed like a lot of people was like, oh shit, like I didn't even know this was happening in my own backyard. Yeah. So I just kept doing that. And then next thing you know, I mean, I gained like 20,000 followers in 1 month.
Was it during that Ybor shooting thing, or
you were talking about the Seminole Heights serial killer?
No, not the Seminole Heights serial killer. The Ybor shooting thing. Remember with the dad?
Ybor shooting, but yeah, by then I was already at like past 100. But early on, it was more of less like posting like shootings that happened in downtown. Like I remember it was like a shoot. Someone got shot right outside of Eden, and a lot of people didn't know about that. And then once they seen that there was a page that's actually communicating with the community was going on, I guess that's what really spread it so fast. And then next thing you know, because next content I would just post something crazy like funny, and it gets people to laugh.
Yeah, so you didn't make it all horror, right?
I didn't make it
all
all
look at this page. Everybody's dying in this.
Yeah. Even though there's a lot of bad and also a lot of good, I try to highlight both of the thing. And I guess once people realize that's what TampaLatest was all about, I guess they figure out that, man, this is a pretty dope page to find, follow, and I can see funny Tampa related funny videos that's like related to Tampa, and I try to stick to just mainly the whole Tampa Bay area so people can actually relate and stick to your audience.
Yeah.
And so you're not all over the place, you know what I mean? So that's how that came about.
So you had a story or something that you wanted to tell people that you have not said on any other podcast, right?
Yeah.
What was that?
Oh, yeah. So a lot of people ask me, like, how come, who runs TampaLatest? Like, a lot of people don't even know. Like, I have a couple of guys that help me out with either writing or shooting content because I can't be everywhere at once. So I actually hire a lot of freelancers. And so it doesn't involve me being in the video. So a lot of people don't even know. They have no fucking idea. Like, who the fuck runs it? You know what I mean? So that's the thing. I try to keep it more of like a brand, you know what I mean, instead of like an individual brand.
That's good.
So you can keep it. So a lot of people, because a lot of people kind of like run away from that, you know what I mean? Yeah. So once you start putting yourself in it a lot of times people are like, this guy's just trying to get fame, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's not really all about that with TampaLatest. So I try to really stick more to really what the community wants to see, which is like either me doing the voiceovers, which I do majority of the voiceovers, so it is me, but I'm not actually in the video. So, but I do plan on doing more skits or whatever funny skits that's in like Tampa and get more funnier videos out that's kind of like Tampa related. So you might see me a little bit more often. Like it's kind of like hidden type thing, but you might be like, shit, oh, that's the guy that actually run it. But it's just like
it's like, where's Waldo? You're like, where's Waldo?
So like, you might see a couple skits come out that's new that we haven't even really pushed out. That's going to be like all Tampa related, funny things that happen, like this, like funny shit that you see all the time in Tampa that people can relate to. So we're starting to do more skits on that we haven't really published. And you might see me in there a couple of times. So, yeah.
I like what you said, where you were trying to keep it a brand. Because when we started Fabre Frameworks, our whole goal was for people not to hire myself or my brother to go photograph the homes. It was to hire the company to go out and photograph the homes. Because when people hire a brand, you can reach a broader audience. But if someone's only looking for the individual, well, then you're kind of screwed because you can't please everybody at once.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, too, as well, because in the long run, like, say if you ever wanted to sell an Instagram page or whatever, and your base pretty much is, like, your face is the Instagram page, you can never really sell that page or that whole business as a whole because you are that person. So it's kind of, right now I could sell TampaLatest as a brand because we got so many email lists and different contact information. It's like narrowed down to.
Have you gotten offers to?
Yeah, I was about to ask that.
Yeah, like because I mean, I had like one that barely had any followers or anything, but it was called My Football World because I like soccer. And somebody I had 3 people ask me for, hey, would you sell the IG name? But yours is a brand. Yours is actually a business. Mine was they just wanted the freaking name.
Yeah, why'd you stop doing that?
I don't know. I was like, it's a lot of work. Like,
he was like making predictions and shit that were like coming true.
I mean, I like watching, but I did it. I started doing it for like the Euros and stuff like that, major tournaments, and I enjoyed it. But now I'm like,
maybe you should start that back up, man.
I'd rather do golf now. This one,
judging from your picks, I don't think you should. So I didn't actually know that people bought Instagram pages.
Yeah, they buy the brand, the domain, like everything that's part of that Instagram name. Because I had a couple of offers too, but it wasn't.
Do you
really
mind
nothing.
saying what the offers were?
It was nothing crazy. It was like some early on. Like,
was it tens of thousands of dollars?
Not even. I would have actually considered it. You know what I mean?
At the beginning, right?
It wasn't nothing crazy. It was like it wasn't even worth it. It was just like a couple thousands. I was like, nah. I'd rather I can make that real easily. Just by upselling someone. Helping the business out with either marketing or creating content and stuff like that. So it wasn't even worth it at the time.
You do like sell promo spots though, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Well, like, what packages do you have for people that want to promote on your page? Because not all your content is promoted, right?
Yeah, no. Sometimes I actually just go out there to a restaurant and just film.
Just have fun. Right?
Yeah, just have fun. Like, if it's something that's new, unique, whatever. And sometimes, a lot of times, these businesses don't have a lot of money. And so I like to just help random businesses out at times. So I would pop up if I see something that's either around my area and just film them. So everything is not really paid promo. But they can if they really want me there, like urgently, whatever. Then they can actually book a session with me, and then I'll go out there, film, record. I bring some of my crew with me, and we showcase the whole restaurant, and we can probably sometimes they just want to promote their event real quick. So we work with Funny Bone as well. So if
is it Funny Bone?
Funny Bone, they used to be Improv in Ybor. You remember that?
No.
Damn. You know Improv?
No,
I know the Tampa Improv. Are you talking about the Tampa Improv?
Yeah, Tampa Improv in Ybor.
It's called Funny Bone?
Yeah, they changed the name to Funny Bone.
When they changed
I feel like Log Smith might have said it, man.
Yeah,
One
it
of the guys.
recently. It was like maybe
because I went there
6 months ago, maybe almost a year now. I don't know. I can't remember. I made a post about it.
I went there to watch Pablo Francisco, I think like last June.
Yeah, they recently changed. So I've been working with Matt and the team from Funny Bone, and that's just a perfect example. And they needed something urgent, so they hit me up, and they wanted to release a press release to the community about their name change. So we do stuff like that. So we do like press releases when there's something major. They need it pushed out to the community right away. So they asked me to write something about their establishment changing their name and like with the reasoning and like they're still the same company, and you can just they're just a great source to really connect with the audience from Tampa.
But do you ever think it's crazy that you sit there and you sit back and you're like, people like these businesses, like major businesses, are hitting me up to do a press release so people in Tampa can know what's up.
Yeah, and that was a whole goal for me of creating this, is to have businesses to hit me up so it can kind of give me an avenue for what I do as a day job. Like, when I'm not doing this, my day job is marketing. Yeah. So I do, websites and helping people create content, marketing, whatever, consulting ideas that they need help with. Like I'm kind of like the brains to like some of these marketing companies. And so it gave me a good platform to, now I don't even have to cold call. No, you know what I mean? So it's like, now it's just so much more convinced. I don't really have to sell myself. So
it's referral based at this point.
Yeah, it's referral based. They see that I can produce numbers. They see that it's working. And sometimes they hit me up and just do whatever you got to do. Like, just make it grow.
Here you go. Here's the check. All right, man.
We trust you.
Yeah. Exactly.
Do you ever like go, hey, this is what it's going to be? And they're like, okay, no problem. And you're like, damn, I should have said maybe this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
a couple of times you like,
I should have asked for more.
When I first started out, I was doing it for dirt cheap, and I was just wanting to build my portfolio, like just to help businesses out, so that way I can use it to show somebody else.
Which everybody should do, man.
That's what everyone should do.
Because we did that. We shot a couple houses for free just to show people, this is our work.
Exactly.
And then after that, it was like one after another. And then those are the ones that pay.
Yeah.
So you got to put in the free work first before you can get to the...
Yeah, I remember there was times in the very beginning I would just go around driving to different restaurants, and I would just do my research, and I would look, oh, there's an event. Let me go film this event. Let me just go out here and film and just talk about it. And then I would just showcase like, oh, I can do highlight recaps. I can talk about what's going to come. So I would spend all day just editing, riding to different spots, restaurants, just on some random stuff. And then showcasing the video on TampaLatest. And then other businesses would see it and they'd be like, oh, shit, I want him to come to my, you know what I mean? I want him to see what we got to offer. So it was just a great platform for me to get connected with real people out here that's trying to grow their, their business.
You really started from the bottom.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they think that it just happens. So someone might go across your page and say, oh, he's always had 130 plus thousand followers. It happened overnight. It didn't happen overnight. It was all the hard work that nobody saw prior to you getting to that point. Success is like being pregnant. I've already said this once. Yeah. Everybody says congratulations, but nobody knows how many times you got fucked.
Jesus Christ.
That was the first time hearing that. Whatever, it sounded good.
It did, right?
It sounded good.
So, I mean, you got to work on yourself and you got to work on your passion in order to achieve what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
That's the goal. And a lot of people don't recognize that. They just think it happens and it doesn't.
Yeah. It was a lot of struggles in the very beginning. It's because, like, you didn't get no likes, you didn't get no videos, then it kind of discouraged you to like, man, should I keep doing this or not? You know what I mean? But once you see that there's actually an audience for that, it just motivates you to just keep going. My motivation, I just like making videos, and then that's what I do. So it's like I just like making videos and content. So I just stuck with it. And the next thing you know, that shit went crazy.
Went crazy. And at the beginning, I know you were telling us off camera, Cliff, like what were the early mistakes that you made? Like at the beginning, you were kind of telling us about one of them where you were like, all right, or it came to the engagement and stuff.
Yeah. So in the beginning, like, you try different shit out to see what works and whatnot. And sometimes when I was doing those news, I always used to do those news posts, like, headliners, whatever. Yeah. And there was times where in the very beginning, like I used to it would kind of seem like I was picking a side, but not really. Yeah. And then I learned that you really don't want to pick a side in this field because people got a strong opinion out there and they will attack you in the comments. So early on, it's like, oh wow, yeah, let me just be neutral. You know what I mean? So that way, whatever how people feel, they can just talk about it, in the comments or whatever. And then if someone disagrees or that person disagrees about whatever just happened, then they can just battle it out or whatever. Yeah. Just have it among themselves. I just put the information out there. Y'all can just do whatever y'all want with it. So I learned that early on is you just got to be neutral and just be informative. That's it.
And you don't comment on everything either.
Oh, no. Hell no.
So when TampaLatest comments, then that's a big deal. So that's almost exclusivity in interacting with the audience also, right?
Yeah. I stopped commenting a long time ago. It's a lot of people.
But do you ever comment?
I do sometimes. Like, it just depends on how I feel. But most of the time we have other people that's on that account as well. Yeah. I tell them not to because it's just over. It's so many comments, so you can't even respond to everyone. So if it's just a reply or if someone else replies on the account, there's just like something like, I agree, like, or that's dope.
You ever tell anybody to fuck off on there?
Nah.
At the begining, like
in the beginning, maybe.
In the beginning, not even. Because like with Instagram nowadays, you get blocked for everything. So like, I was super paranoid to even lose an account. So like I tried
to lose it.
Yeah, if you say something crazy, whatever, people might report you, whatever. So I was like, let me not do all that.
When you got people, when was the first time where you actually let one of your either your subs or your employees like actually have full access or to be able to comment on your page? Like, did that take a lot to be like, all right, I'm gonna give you this to comment, but
so sometimes I'll be if
you gotta trust that person too.
Because
people get put you on blast or say anything stupid.
I know. Yeah, so I got a small group of friends and I actually taught each one of them the whole process of how to create something like that. So we have different locations. So we have Orlando, Miami, Dallas, Houston.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's all my group of friends. That
do you make money off of that though?
2 locations do. Other ones do. Yes.
So you franchised?
Mm-hmm. Different network opportunities because eventually.
Oh man, Dallas has got over 130,000.
Did you just look up Dallas?
I mean, no, it's all on his page.
Yep.
Oh.
I mean, even Orlando's got over 100.
Mm-hmm.
Holy fuck!
Yeah,
dude.
we got 2. So in total, 3 pages over 100,000.
But you don't have to run those.
No.
Did you almost franchise those? Like in a sense?
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, we
it?
spread it to different communities, like in neighborhood communities. Because if it worked here, it can work in another city, you know. And that way, it can give another business more opportunities to spread their business name. So,
But they have to focus on the kind of stuff you focus on, right?
Yeah, well, it depends because, like I said, there's some businesses that want to be promoted everywhere. So that way, we can offer them, hey, we got a Dallas page as well that we can help promote to that community as well if you ever want to. Or they can go to Orlando. So they got different opportunities.
So then has Red Bull been like, yo, now we have this?
Yep.
Yeah.
All different locations. They all use each one of them.
Dude, you could like do one for every major metro.
Every major one. Yep. It's just a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. Hey, either you have freedom of time and you get to enjoy your life, or you're gonna be grinding out till who knows?
Let me tell you this, man. If it was easy, everybody would do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I got people in a position to do it.
Great work comes great money.
No, but I saw a new one that you started now. You were doing the real estate now, Cliff. It's the latest homes.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you trying to do with that page there?
Yeah, so with that one, it's like with TampaLatest, man, you can do so many different things with it. Oh. So with that, I wanted to find people wanted to know where to live at in Tampa. Like I used to get messages a lot like, hey, we plan on coming to Tampa. We love the page. You know what I'm saying? Is there anybody you can recommend? Or it was just a lot of people that, they see the page and they want to come to Tampa and stuff like that because they just see so many great things. And so I wanted to make a page where people can just go and find homes in Tampa if they consider buying a home, selling, whatever, renting, even, unique properties that's in Tampa that people didn't really know about. Either like if you want to take a trip up to what's that place called? Up north a little bit.
Ocala?
No, not Ocala.
Epperson? No.
Wesley Chapel.
I forgot the area. It's on. I just posted about that.
Spring Hill.
I forgot the name.
Hernando, Citrus.
Yeah, but it was like a helicopter out there in the middle of nowhere, and it was like, dang, you should. No one knows you can rent out here, so it was just a great way to just tell people where to rent and buy a home. So that's the whole concept of that.
Gotcha. And when we get back on break, thank you for listening to Happy Hour Holidays. We'll get back with Cliff and continue our conversation with social media. All right, guys, back to Happy Hour Holidays here with Cliff from TampaLatest. He's been telling us, this is like basically like a marketing class along with a social media class. We're getting a lot of intel here, and this is going to be a good episode. You guys are going to love it. So how do you come up with all the different posts and what to select as far as what to post and also on what's going on in Tampa? Because I'm sure there's a lot of things that happen, but how do you pick which one? It's like trial and error, but how do you do this, man?
Yeah, so I get that question a lot because there's so many things that happen around in Tampa. You can't really post everything. You could, but it would be, I don't want to spam people. I want to give the most valuable content out there that people should know about. So I me and my team, we try to come up with like the most, informative thing that the community should know about. Or is either through businesses or something crazy that just happened in Tampa that people should know right away. So we do a lot of researches, like on Twitter, contacting the Hillsborough County Sheriff. Like you can actually see all that information online when it's happening. You get alerts to your phone. So I'll be getting I have probably like 20 notifications of like different, police stations or any crazy shit that might happen. So if I see something that is like the community should really know about, you definitely should consider following TampaLatest so that you can stay updated and know. Because like even with the shooting that just happened maybe like 2 days ago, that
Armature Works.
Yeah, the Tampa Police Department, they didn't really talk about it. They tweeted it. So, a lot of people are not on X, I should say. They are not on that. So I just transfer the information to the community, and a lot of people was like, wow, I did not even know that was happening, like right then in that moment. So that's
crazy. I found out about it on IG.
Yeah, exactly. And so I posted about it on the story, and then I did a full detail about the shooting, about the teen getting arrested, like what happened, and I try to gather as much information as possible, and then release it to the community so that way people know what's going on instead of just in the loop. So yeah,
you do have a website, right?
Yeah, it's a website.
Yeah, I was actually on it right now.
So the website probably has articles on it.
Yeah, they have articles
like
on
blog style articles, I'm assuming.
Yeah, they do, but we actually update more like different stories sometimes on there more than we do on our posts. So like we will do more articles on our website because it's just so much more easier to people just to scroll through and check out the news than having to create each content for each news article post. So it's more fast. It's like it's really faster to get that information out through the website. So sometimes if you guys ever want to see what else is happening that we don't post about, just definitely check out the website.
What's your average visitors per day?
Visitors, I know when I last checked it was like 10,000. It wasn't nothing crazy
per day.
It was per day. I think maybe per month.
The last 28 days, because I'm sure you use Google Analytics.
Yeah,
right?
I do, but honestly, I haven't checked it. I usually have one of my writers go in there and do it. So I do need to go check it more often. But
does your writer use ChatGPT 4 or no?
No, I actually use one. I was using a couple of college kids at first, and I would tell them to write the stories about what. I'll just send them a list and talk about it, or they'll do their research, and I'll tell them, hey, do your research and what's going on in the city, and then we'll write an article about it. Or if I have time, then I'll do it myself. But most of the time, I rather stick to the content creating part.
Have you ever seen the movie Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal, where he's like this guy who films accidents as it's happening because he has a police radio frequency and he's listening into it?
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about doing something like that just to be first on the scene?
Yeah. I have thought about that because it's like, it's like sometimes you just gotta, it's too much because you gotta drive to that location sometimes. It's like, nah, I'd rather just make it.
But he was selling the tapes to the news station.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. He was making money too. I mean, shit.
Nah, I was thinking about that because people want to actually see it with the videos, but it's faster to get a picture around the city and just talk about it. And then eventually, if I am in the area, I'll shoot a video or something like that. But I have thought about that though, driving around.
That was a good movie, by the way. Yeah. He was a little bit demented, though. I mean, you remember the last part of the movie. Spoiler alert. This guy lets his second photographer die just to get the shot and then sells it for like, what, $50K to the news station, man. That was insane.
Gotta eat.
Gotta eat.
Sorry, bro. Help me. Nah, man. I need that 50.
This is what I need. Boom.
But as far as like posts and everything for TampaLatest, do you have you seen like it, like you were saying earlier, if you do too many, then it's like, oh man, this is too much. You already have like a number that you do where you're like, all right, this is the right amount of number, is the right number of posts to do per day. And you don't do any more than that pretty much, right?
Yeah. I don't want to spam people with a lot of different.
What is that number, by the way?
Usually once or twice a day. Keep it simple because at the same time as well, I do business spotlights. So when I do post a business, I want the business to actually like be on the page and it's not spammed out with all our other posts. So I want it to actually, the viewers on our page, our followers, to actually want to focus in on that and see what's our last post. We really don't post that often, but it's like once, twice a day, so you can stay updated. It's only because I really want to highlight that business that we do post or event.
Can't you just pin it to the top if you really wanted to?
We could, but it's more of just like in the moment type of a thing. Because then we'll have to like keep pinning stuff constantly, so you can just go through the timeline and see, when we posted it. It's usually around the same like event time schedule or whatever.
What's like one of the one of the best events that you went to early on, like that you got invited to and it was exclusive? Like what was like one of the ones that were like, man, this was a pretty fun event.
Wasn't it at the Penthouse?
The Dollhouse.
The Dollhouse.
Yeah, it's for me to say it'd probably be the event that I didn't attend. So
really?
Did not attend?
Yeah, it was at the Edition when they was doing their grand opening and stuff. They had rented out, I guess, the Emily Arena had a performer come out and like they did. I wasn't there, unfortunately. I was out of town. I had to send some of my other guy there, and then he was showing me videos. I'm like, damn, man, I wish I was there. Like, you know what I mean? They went all crazy because Edition they did the bougie and fancy and stuff like that. So they went all out, and I was like, they had all this famous celebrities came down and stuff.
Way.
I forgot who was there, but he was just sending me videos. I'm like, you lucky, that should be me out there. Yeah. So I always think about that event I missed. But I honestly, I attend so many like events. Like we just went one a couple of days ago with the Rooster and Till. Yeah, that was a good one. Like I never had any like assist. Well, I have with Cole, but that one was a unique experience too. So like,
do you ever do anything out? So is TampaLatest just about Tampa City, or is it also St. Pete, Clearwater?
Yeah, so it's mainly Tampa and St. Pete. Sometimes we'll stretch out to Clearwater or the Eden. Really, it's mainly focused on the Tampa Bay area. Really, we try to narrow it down so that way it's not all over the place. But Tampa and St. Pete are mainly the source of our content. Yeah.
So there is in the Tampa Bay City, I think there's actually in Hillsborough County, there's 3 million people.
Yep.
And you have 130,000 of those people following you. Bro, you got more than 1% of the people that live here following you. You have somewhere in the neighborhood of like, what is it, like 6% of the population of Hillsborough following you.
Yeah, yeah.
How does that make you feel right there, dude? That's big.
Good.
That's big, bro.
It feels really good because it shows that whatever I'm doing is working. Whatever I'm doing is keeping people engaged, and it's like it's something new every day. So like that's what I really like about it, and it's unique. Like I said, it's very different than a lot of these pages out here. A lot of these pages are not going to highlight some of the crazy shit that's going on. Which is, I'm not saying everyone should, but there's a lot of shit going on. And it's like to be able to showcase the good stuff and the bad stuff, because I've said this before many times, it's not always good shit going on in Tampa. So it's like at least you cater. You're not like just a page that's just going to highlight, If you want to move to Tampa, you got to follow TampaLatest because then you're really going to know what's going on in the city.
Yeah, you get the good, the bad, and the fun.
Yeah, so you definitely plan on moving to Tampa or you don't know anything about Tampa and you just see videos of all the food stuff. You tired of seeing that and you want to see a little bit more, then, TampaLatest is going to give you the whole 9 yards, everything.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's incredible. I mean, and then the logo, man, I love the logo. It's like a modern look.
Yeah, and I was wondering about that. Why don't you sell some merch?
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. I had it early on. It's just I went into the lab trying to rebrand and trying to think of a different way because I think I might do something where it's like like a quote, sound like a Tampa quote or something, and then just go based off of that. Like either I'm from Tampa or like have you ever heard of the brand called I'm from Cleveland?
Well, I heard Joe Noah say, "Oh, you like Cleveland? You think Cleveland's cool?" I never heard anybody say they wanted a vacation in Cleveland.
Yeah.
That's what I.
So I want to do like a little bit more of like Tampa merch eventually, but I want to do. I gotta get in the lab some more for that. So
don't use the area code though, man.
No,
that shit is played out like crazy.
No, but the TampaLatest just sounds like a podcast that you could literally do, and also run through all the events as well, or even have business owners that come on, your guys and literally, interview them and give them an extra spotlight, because I mean, at first it's like,
it does sound like a podcast.
Yeah, I know TampaLatest, it sounds like an awesome podcast.
Yeah, it is too, because we would consider doing that as well. We was at MMG Studios. They have a good podcast room. We work with them in the past. It's just we are our time schedule is so crazy.
I
Like
know,
we got to put so much pieces in, and then with a podcast, if I do a podcast, I want to make sure it's like consistent every week. We got something going on. But eventually, we may be able to get around to something like that.
And if you're looking for a consistent podcast, guys, Happy Hour Holidays every Thursday at 12 p.m. an episode is released.
Y'all do it well.
Yeah,
do it well every time. Y'all is on time for
what
real.
are you looking for as far as like TampaLatest? What's your next goals for the page itself? Like what's your next like 5-year goal for TampaLatest?
Yeah, it's to constantly just keep growing. And like I said, we just recently got into the real estate. We're new to that. That's very new, honestly. So in the next 5 years, we plan on being really like a big real estate page, hopefully. So that way we're going to be focusing on that a lot because we want to talk about affordable housing, different things that people, is really hard to find. Like the real shit in Tampa, like, Tampa's getting outpriced, like
without a doubt, man. I mean,
it's time to own a home here.
Yeah, honestly. So it's like it's tough out here now.
Yeah.
So we want to be able to build a platform to where we can help the community also find a home that's affordable or find a home that is actually that they want. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the other cool thing you were saying too with the latest homes is that you're also like kind of showing different areas of Tampa to kind of show, hey, this is what this area has, this is what this area has. So when somebody's moving here from the states that come down here, Ohio, Michigan, whatever, they all come down here and they're like, where the hell am I going to, where I'm going to move to? And well, now you got a page that you can check out and be like, all right, well, this is the area I want to move to if I want to be by a lagoon or if I want to be in the city. So that's another great thing about the latest homes, man. And it's growing, every day.
How many followers does that one have?
Maybe like 2.5. We just started. So it's fairly new. So if you are listening to that and you want to know about homes, definitely follow the latest home page. For sure.
When did you guys start it?
Probably a couple of months ago. I don't know the exact date. We were still trying to figure out like the type of content we was going to post. And then once we realized what people like, and we're sticking to it now. So yeah, we got some content coming out.
So are you making like videos of areas or are you?
So we're doing areas next. We haven't focused on the actual area, like the parts of Tampa. Mainly, we're just doing like the new developments that's coming up, like builders building a bunch of shit, like left and right, and finding the best price, like the lowest prices that you can find in Tampa, because a lot of people wants to know, what we can find nowadays, because a lot of homes are like overly.
Yeah, over
in the city.
Like, that's from everybody moving over here. I mean, we're a hot spot. I mean, I think we were number 3 in the whole nation for people,
one.
Or maybe number 1. Maybe number 1. That everybody's moving here, and we honestly don't have enough housing as it is. And what's happening is just the prices are inflating
not only
so
that,
much.
But now you have builders building in the burbs, right?
Yeah.
And like Wesley Chapel, where I live in New Tampa.
Yeah.
But then in Pasco out there by State Road 56 and even Dade City, I mean, it's everywhere. Building everywhere, man.
Yeah. And so that's where I come in and just like show them like this is a new developed area that's about to come up, and the homes are going to be starting at this price, which is really rare to find prices at nowadays that low.
300s, really.
Yeah. We just posted one the last week or so. It's like the only community that I know that was like a new build that was actually in prime Tampa, like right off of prime Palm River area, like the expressway,
River?
Palm River.
Palm River?
Yeah.
Where's Palm River?
It's like right off the other side
Selman Expressway?
Yeah, it's right off of that. So that location is actually, I thought was pretty dope because it's not way out there in the boonies in Ruskin or whatever. You know what I mean? So
it's still Hillsboro.
Yeah. But
Ruskin's far.
You want to be close to downtown where everything is at. Well, me personally, I love I'm always in that area. So
there's one place you got to check out is off of, it's in Zephyr Hills off of Knights Griffin Road.
Yeah.
And they're selling townhomes starting from the 200s. That was the first time I saw in the 200s in like 4 years, man.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
It's insane to me.
I know. And that's where
and it's right next to I-4.
Yeah.
So it's like
it's out that way, but it's not too bad for someone that either that wants to be away from the city, you know what I mean? Because that's where a lot of people have to resort to now. is to move out to the outskirts. People are getting pushed out.
That's where I'm at. I'm all the way out there in Newport Richie, Trinity. I'm always like, I want a bigger house. I was like, ain't gonna happen in Tampa, man. I'm gonna have to go back out there. So we moved out there, and it's good for raising a family. I would say.
It's 30 minutes away from.
No, it's 45 minutes to get to fucking International Mall.
No, I'm saying from the office.
Oh no, from the office. But I mean, if I want to go to eat at good restaurants, where am I gonna go? I'm gonna go Tampa.
Yeah, you're not going to Newport Richie, dog.
Not to bash Newport Richie, but I mean, it's coming up that little area where Starkey Ranch is at, Bexley. Like they're really making a lot of effort.
Not high-end restaurants.
No, not high-end restaurants. You're getting like the chain restaurants.
You have to go to Midtown. You got to go to fucking International. You got to go to downtown. That's really
that's where all the hot spots at. That's
Hyde Park.
Yep.
Hyde Park. No, so Cliff, man, we really appreciate you coming on Happy Hour Holidays.
Sure.
What do you want to leave a little bit? Like usually at the end of the show, we tell our guests to like either motivation, whatever it is, to tell the audience or anything you want to leave with them. It could be a plug, whatever.
Yeah, I just want to say any content creator out there that I do see a lot of people that's in Tampa that's actually making content, and I love it because you're actually putting a spotlight on a lot of these businesses out there. So, and I work with a lot of them, so I just want to tell anybody that's in Tampa, continue making content. Like even though that it may not be going crazy in views right now, but just keep on going. Eventually you're going to get the eyeballs out there, and you're actually helping a lot of these businesses out there. So I'm all about help people that likes to create and help the community out. So if you ever want to team up with TampaLatest, always you can always send videos to us as well. So we reshare people's videos that's in the city. So feel free to reach out to us at TampaLatest.
Yeah, check out TampaLatest.com. He's got opportunities there to be a sponsor, advertise, everything that you need to know for top stories, anything that you need. Check out the other pages, latest homes. If you're moving to Tampa, it's starting to grow for what area to live. Cliff has been absolutely phenomenal. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching Happy Hour Holidays. Tune in next week for another episode. Peace out.